The norm is medical schools here want U.S. classes, which helps them understand your academic ability. The OldPremeds podcast, session number 292. Welcome to the OldPremeds podcast. My name is Dr. Ryan Gray, your host here every week, where I take your non-traditional questions directly from the non-traditional pre-med discussion over at premedforums.com. If you haven't gone over there and signed up for a free account yet to ask your questions, what are you waiting for? Go do that now. Before we jump into today's question, which is a doozy of a non-trad, an international student, I want to talk about the MCAT Minutes brought to you by Blueprint MCAT. If you have not gone over there and signed up for your 1,600 plus free flashcards on their brand new spaced repetition platform, go do so at blueprintmcat.com. Now is the season for MCAT registration. As we're recording this, it is near the end of October. MCAT registration is now open for the beginning of 2022. That means you should go register if you're going to be taking the MCAT at the beginning of 2022. The earlier you register, the better, because your seat may be gone by the time you want to take the test. So go over there and register, and don't forget to go check out Blueprint MCAT and sign up for a free account today. All right, so let's dive into our student's question right now. They say, I'm an international student thinking about applying to U.S. medical school. They say, hi, everyone. I have some points to be answered, and their English isn't perfect, so I'm going to try to adjust as necessary. I am an Indian student currently pursuing a Bachelor's of Engineering from an Indian university, and I thought of applying to a U.S. medical school. So their GPA conversion would be around a 3, and they're getting low grades because first year I got in an accident, and got an implant in the right leg. And what else? I'm trying to pick out the good stuff here. What should I further do to not get my GPA better? Postbac program or an MS in biological medical sciences. I'm willing to do various certificate courses that are conducted in India, but that won't really help. Should I consider doing another undergraduate degree from the U.S., or my current degree would be okay? I'm doing a bit of research with my professor. Will that help? So really, at the end of the day, right, the basic question is, the bigger question here is international undergrad. That's the biggest hang-up. The far majority of medical schools typically have a 90-hour rule, and that's just a general rule of thumb. Some may be 60, there are a few that are a little bit lower, but it's a lot of hours, like 90 hours from a US-based undergraduate program, 90 hours of credits of program, 90 hours of credits from a US school. Now that may be graduate, maybe undergraduate, it depends on the school, right? So always the caveat is, go check what the schools you're interested in. But 90 hours is this general rule of thumb that we throw out as an advisor to say, if you are an international student, like a true international student, not an international student studying undergrad here in the US, but you did your undergrad overseas. And this is the same for US citizens or US residents who go abroad to do their undergraduate coursework. Medical schools here are very, very snobby about U.S. coursework. And so the general recommendation for everyone coming from overseas with an overseas degree is you should probably just repeat your undergrad degree here in the States, because to get to that 90 credit hours, you're basically doing another degree. And a 1-year postbac typically is not good enough for that. Now, there may be exceptions. The institution that you went to may be a well-known institution, and some medical schools may be okay with converting your transcript from that Indian university to whatever kind of GPA we have here. There are kind of certification bodies out there that will take your transcripts and convert it and certify it as a GPA here in the U.S. system. But the general rule that we tell students is just come here, do your degree here, and kind of start your life here, if that is the goal. Unfortunately, that's just the norm, right? The norm is medical schools here want U.S. classes, which helps them understand your academic ability, right? The language that I've been using a lot lately is you have to prove to medical schools that you are academically capable of doing well in medical school. And international degrees, international credits don't give enough confidence, for the most part, to medical schools, and don't give them enough kind of background on what those courses are, how hard were they, how easy were they, what are the kind of strict regulations around testing, or is there no proctor and everyone just cheats off of each other, like whatever those cases may be. That's where the questions lie for U.S. medical schools. Right or wrong, that's just what they do. So they're going to want to see U.S. credits for the most part. So anyone coming from an international school will very likely need to just come here and take more classes. And for some of you, that may mean just repeating your undergraduate degree. A lot of people want to come to the States to study medicine. We don't have the best healthcare system, but our education system for training doctors, everyone wants to come here. That's just the way it is. I don't know why. So come here, get your credits, and apply to medical school if that is the ultimate goal. Research definitely helps. Research is good to have in your application. I think it's one of the most overrated parts of an application, but if you're interested in doing it, great. Like going to the other question about research. I don't think anything you do in India is going to help you get into school here in the US. So as soon as you can, come to the US and start your studies all over again, or whatever you need to do to accomplish to get into the schools that you want to potentially go to. I hope that was helpful. A little bit of a short one for you. Again, don't forget to check out blueprintmcat.com and their brand new spaced repetition platform for their flashcards, all expertly crafted by one of their amazing tutors. There are many of their amazing tutors, but each one created by their amazing tutors and MCAT experts over there at Blueprint MCAT. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time here on the Old Premeds podcast.